They say beauty is not only in the skin, but in the spirit that carries it. And once, in a small village, there lived a woman who was poor beyond words. Her name was Nia. Her hut was made of mud and straw, her clothes patched again and again, her sandals worn thin from walking the dusty paths. She owned nothing of gold, nothing of silver. And yet, wherever she walked, the world seemed to pause. Not because she was the most dazzling to the eye, but because her beauty came from something deeper. Every morning, Nia walked to the river with a clay pot balanced on her head. She greeted the old, she smiled at the young, and even the birds seemed to follow her song. The villagers whispered, "Why does she glow when hunger lives in her house? Why does her laughter rise like the sun, though her bed is empty?" No one could answer. But they could not deny that her presence brought light wherever shadows lingered. One day, the daughter of the chief returned from the city. She wore beads of coral, wrappers dyed in bright colors, and gold that shone in the sun. When she saw Nia, barefoot by the river, she frowned. "How can this poor girl be called beautiful?" she asked. "Beauty belongs to those who can afford it." And from that day, jealousy filled her heart. She told her friends, "She has nothing. She is nothing." Yet the people look at her as if she were a queen. I will show them what true beauty means. Soon, a great festival came. The chief's daughter dressed herself in silks and painted her skin with oils. She arrived at the square, shining like fire. And Nia. She came in her simple wrapper, her hands rough from work, her hair tied back plainly. The drums began, the songs rose, and the people danced. But as the night went on, something strange happened. Everywhere Nia passed, joy followed. Her laughter rang louder than the music. Her kindness wrapped around the children. Even the elders found themselves smiling when she came near. The chief's daughter watched, her gold and beads suddenly feeling heavy. No matter how brightly she shone, the people's eyes drifted back to Nia. At last, the oldest elder stood and lifted his staff. He said, "We see now that beauty is not in riches or in ornaments. It is in the spirit. It is in the heart. The poor woman who gives joy is more beautiful than the rich woman who spreads envy." The people cheered. The chief's daughter turned away in shame. And Nia. She bowed her head humbly, though her eyes glowed with quiet tears. She had never asked to be praised. But that night, the village learned that true beauty cannot be bought. Years passed, and Nia remained the same, simple, poor, and radiant. When strangers came to the village, they asked, "Who is the queen who walks among you?" And the people answered, smiling, "She is no queen. She owns no wealth. But she carries the kind of beauty that outlives gold." And so the story lived on. The tale of the woman whose beauty was not in what she wore, but in what she carried within.